Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome back into Grind City Media's mock draft. For this year's NBA draft, we are making our way down the mock draft. This is actually our last week before the real NBA mock draft actually happens. So we are talking to the Chicago Bulls representative. Our good friend Pat is here to talk about what the Bulls need. Good morning. Thank you for being on with us.
No problem. No problem. Thank you for having me.
So the Bulls are the Bulls. Look, they were 9th this year. Like in the East,
Yeah.
they didn't have like the best record ever. Let me get my notes here. They were 39-43. You're essentially building your team around your point guard and your center, Kobe White and Vucevic. For now, seem like it's where they want to be. DeMar DeRozan, who I love because I'm from Toronto, could potentially, and I'm not saying he would, could potentially sign somewhere else. And so I don't know if going into this draft, you are looking for shooting because the Bulls ranked 24th, 27th and made threes. You could be having to fill DeRozan's spot. You could not. And this draft
Yeah.
is so up and down. Before I actually get to who you're going to draft, you know better than me. I'm saying shooting. It could be something completely different. Is there a need that you see Chicago going after with this draft?
The part that's tough is like there's multiple needs, honestly. The fact that we get the news yesterday that more than likely Andre Drummond will try and re-sign with another team. Now that means that you've got a big man spot vacant. He was somebody who could come in, eat up a lot of minutes, and get you that Andre Drummond style of rebounding. So you do need to have that as well. It's something that you could look for in this draft, and there are players that are available that you can get that with. But the biggest thing is the Chicago Bulls right now are just not a good shooting basketball team, right? They're a team that offensively they rank in the bottoms of most of the offensive ratings right now. I mean, they're 19th in offensive rating in the NBA. They're tied for 26th in 3-pointers per game. You got to find a way to get guys out here whose mindset is when I get the ball in my hands, I put the ball in the air. I'm shooting the basketball. And I just don't think that we have enough guys on the team that do that. And so to me, I would personally go into this draft looking for somebody who embodies that, maybe who embodies a little bit of both of that, but it's the Chicago Bulls. We've also seen them play a 6'4" shooting guard at power forward for 3 seasons now. So you never really know with this team.
Okay, well, saying that because no one ever really knows what's happening in this draft, Pat, the designer, you are on the clock representing the Chicago Bulls. Tell me who you're going with.
Well, I think you have to go with somebody who, like I said, embodies a little bit of both of that. And so, with what's left on the board now, I'm going to go Kyle Filipowski in this draft. He's somebody to me who, as far as a rebounder, he can take it off the glass, he can push the tempo, he can get the ball up to Kobe White. I think him and Kobe could have a really good two-man game. He does give you some of those rebounding numbers, not a phenomenal rebounder. I think he gets bodied up a little bit when people are bigger than him going, or when he's going up against people who are bigger than him. But the good thing about the modern NBA is a lot of skinny centers in it. So there's times where he can have that advantage and still give you those solid rebounding numbers. He does that on the 3-point shooting as well. I think he's somebody who has a ton of upside. And if I'm sitting here at 11 right now and I'm looking at somebody who can embody both of those skills, I think you got to go Kyle Filipowski.
Okay, let's quickly break down the positives and the negatives for him. The positive, you nailed it. Probably one of the most skilled bigs in this draft right now. He's a 7-foot guy. He can score. Like if you are looking for someone who, when the ball gets in their hands, they are looking to shoot, they're looking to score. He can score. He can shoot. He can shoot off the dribble. He can catch and shoot. He can finish at the rim. You kind of nailed it too, him with Kobe White. Do you see him playing with Vucevic? Like, would you put him on the court
I
with him?
think you could. I think you could get some time in with him and Vooch, and vice versa with him and Patrick Williams, who for some
Mhm.
reason AK refuses to let go of. I think that you could see some time with both of those guys on the floor because there is that versatility of okay, I need to play a little bit more off ball. Vooch, you handle the paint, and also I can get in the paint and you knock down some shots.
All right. And then the weaknesses, and I do this with everyone, so I'm not picking on Kyle, but the weaknesses are number one, he can be a little bit inconsistent. So he can have those nights where he is a scorer and he plays so well, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're the star. And then he can have nights where it's like, honey, where are
Yeah,
you? Does
yeah.
that worry you about like relying on the rookie to score if you need him in a Bulls uniform.
Doesn't worry me for the first season, just because I think that the Bulls are in a situation now where they're kind of going to have to go with the young guys here, right? And so you need to see Kobe White take that next step. Otherwise, all of this is for naught. I don't know if you're getting a star in this draft. I don't know if Kyle Filipowski is going to be a star, but if you can be that guy that chips in, 15 to 20 points a night, I think that's a win for the Bulls right now. But it all comes down to, what is Kobe White going to be in a Chicago Bulls uniform? And so
Yeah.
right now, coming into this season, I don't need you taking all the shots. I need Kobe White taking these shots. I need Ayo Dosunmu taking these shots. The guys who have been on the team, Patrick Williams, the guys who have been here. I need to see what we really have when DeMar and Zach, if this does play out this way, aren't in the building.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, yeah, I need you to be consistent. I think that's just the NBA in general. Otherwise, you're going to be relegated to being one of those bench guys who, yeah, he can give you solid production, but there's going to be nights where you realize there's a reason he's on the bench.
The other thing is, and you touched on it a little bit, is the rebounding. He is a 7-foot guy, and like you talked about with Andre Drummond, who self-proclaimed is the best rebounder in the NBA
Very
forever and
self-proclaimed.
ever. Okay, Andre. Um, you're not going to get that with Kyle. He's like a decent rebounder, but for his size, he is not the best rebounder. But again, you talked about guys like Chet and Wemby, who we're not seeing those big Andre Drummond guys anymore. We're seeing a lot of the thinner bigs. His lack of rebounding also isn't something that moves you away from him.
I think that, if anything, is my biggest concern with Kyle. But to me, the offensive upside. Listen, the Bulls have been okay as far as rebounding wise over the last couple of seasons. Andre Drummond, a big reason for that. But there's ways that you can get around a guy. He's not a poor rebounder. I'd say he's just an average rebounder,
Yeah.
and that is scary when you go out and look at a 7-footer. But to me, you have to focus on the offense and get somebody that can also bring those other things. And that, to me, and as far as well as his ability around the rim defensively, I think that those things kind of weigh a little bit higher for me right now than going out and getting a 15 rebound per game guy, because usually those 15 rebound per game guys aren't giving you the offensive upside, and that's what the Bulls really need.
Yeah, I like the pick. I really do. Thank you so much. I was just making sure you were selling me on it. I like the pick for the Bulls. Pat, I appreciate your time so very much. Thank you for being part of our mock draft this year. I hope you had a little bit of fun.
Oh yeah, always having fun. Appreciate you having me on.